Hidden deep within the wilderness journey of Israel is a story many people have never heard. A story that would challenge tradition, rewrite laws, and prove that even the overlooked can shape history. It's the story of Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah, the 5 daughters of Zelophehad. Ordinary women who dared to stand before Moses, the priests, and the leaders of Israel and demand their inheritance. What they asked for was unheard of. What they received was a ruling from God Himself that changed the future of an entire nation. The Israelites were on the edge of destiny. After decades of wandering in the desert, the promised land of Canaan lay just ahead. Every tribe, every family was being counted. The land would be divided, each household receiving its portion, its future, its name carved into the soil of God's promise. Land wasn't just property, it was identity. To lose it was to lose your name, your lineage, your place among God's people. But for one family, there was a problem. A man named Zelophehad of the tribe of Manasseh had died in the wilderness. He left behind no sons, only 5 daughters. And according to custom, without a male heir, his family's land would be absorbed into someone else's inheritance. His daughters, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah, would be left with nothing. Their father's name would vanish. But these women were not willing to let their father's memory die. They were not willing to be silenced by tradition. Against all odds, they made a bold decision. They would rise and take their case to the very top. Imagine the scene. The leaders of Israel gathered, Moses seated in authority, Eleazar the priest at his side, the elders present, the entire assembly watching. The camp falls silent as 5 women step forward. This was unheard of. Women were not supposed to speak in such settings, let alone challenge the law of inheritance. With steady voices, the daughters spoke. "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among those who rebelled against the Lord, but he died in his own sin and left no sons. Why should his name disappear from his clan just because he had no sons? Give us a possession among our father's relatives." The crowd gasped. This was not just a request, it was a challenge to centuries of tradition. No woman had ever been granted land before. To many, this sounded like rebellion, like overstepping boundaries. Some must have whispered, "How dare they?" Others probably admired their bravery, but stayed silent. What would Moses do? He could have dismissed them on the spot. He could have silenced them with a word. Instead, Moses did something extraordinary. He took their case directly to the Lord. And then came the answer. Not from Moses, not from the priests, but from God Himself. "The daughters of Zelophehad are right. You must certainly give them property among their father's relatives and give their father's inheritance to them." With one divine ruling, the laws of Israel changed forever. Women who had been invisible in matters of inheritance were now given a voice, a right, and a place in the Promised Land. The courage of 5 sisters had rewritten history. But it didn't end there. Their case became a precedent. God instructed Moses to establish a new law. If a man dies with no sons, his inheritance goes to his daughters. If no daughters, then to his brothers. If no brothers, then to the nearest relative. Their boldness didn't just secure their family's future, it secured justice for countless women in generations to come. The story of Zelophehad's daughters is a reminder that God is not blind to the cries of the overlooked. He hears the voice of the powerless. He defends the forgotten. He honors courage that others dismiss. 5 women who had every reason to remain silent chose instead to speak, and God Himself affirmed their cause. In your own life, maybe you feel unseen. Maybe tradition, culture, or circumstances have tried to silence your voice. But this story proves God sees you. God hears you. And sometimes, all it takes is one bold step of faith to change the story for yourself and for generations after you. So remember Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah, the 5 sisters in the wilderness who dared to ask and changed a nation forever. Their story is more than history. It is a call to courage, faith, and persistence in the face of silence. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. And if you want more forgotten Bible stories that reveal the hidden treasures of Scripture, subscribe now. Until next time, keep walking in courage, just like the daughters of Zelophehad.